Hey everybody, Adrian and Derek here from Northfield, and we just wanted to take the chance to show you our brand new wavelength short scale octave mandolin. This is something that we are really excited about. We've been working on for quite a while. We've gone through a bunch of different body changes and changes under the hood and different orientation of sound holes and sound hole sizes and so on, and we feel like recently we really hit the mark on exactly what we want the F-hole version of this instrument to sound and play like. So we're pretty excited. Wanted to show you a little bit about this instrument and what makes it so different. So almost 10 years ago, we started making octave mandolins, and we very quickly learned that the octave really had a place inside of the mandolin family and was really becoming a popular instrument, and we needed to dedicate a lot of our time to really getting into all the various ways an octave mandolin can be used. And so just go back in time for a second. We'll just show you, where we started on the octave mandolin. This being our archtop octave, our guitar body, obviously, and just to get an idea of the difference in the size on these. Not just in terms of the scale length, but the overall size of the body, how you hold the instrument. Over your lap as opposed to in your lap. Just the fact that it's a guitar body versus a real, obviously, a familiar mandolin teardrop body design. And that's kind of what led us to this instrument. We got a lot of requests over the years to make something more compact, smaller, for the lap or for an ease in standing and playing, especially at like a jam circle where people wanted to bring their octave mandolins and wanted their octave mandolins to be punchy enough to be heard, but also comfy enough on your left hand. That was really the thing. We had put a 22-inch scale length on our octaves, and on our other two instruments, that's the standard scale length. But cutting it down to 19 inches really makes it possible for your left hand to play the same voicings and same sort of positioning and technique that you really have a harder time doing with a 22-inch scale length. And so that is combined with the compound radius and the fingerboard extension being elevated, which on a teardrop really allows you to access these frets up in there much easier than the fingerboard extension on the guitar body, where it's glued right to the top and no cutaway. It's just a natural cutaway, right, built in. And that has made it really comfy. Another thing about this instrument and all its combination of specs, we're using a harder red spruce on this, is the way it's voiced and the fact that it's super punchy in the mid-range. What do you think? Don't you think this is more of a conducive inside of a jam situation?
No doubt, man. I mean, if you have a guitar or several guitars going on, bass, banjo, other stringed instruments, even other mandolins, other octaves even, this mandolin, even though it is an octave lower than a standard mandolin, is not the real big woofy low-end warmth. It has, it's muscly, it's still got the low end, but
right.
You will hear the low end coming through those other larger instruments.
We were just at a festival in New York, and a lot of the same things were said from different players, that people like to come to jams with an octave mandolin in there, and then immediately, they're playing, but no one can really hear anything because the upright bass, the dreadnought guitars that are generally in there, just take all that low end frequency. And originally when we got into the octave thing, it was because we were looking at it as an accompaniment instrument, something that would accompany vocals. We were certainly paying attention to people like Tim O'Brien and Sarah Jarose and Sierra Hull, who were using it as singer-songwriters and incorporating that like as a solo instrument, really, right? And you could sing and play with it. But Yeah, we think that this teardrop with this short scale allows more mandolin players to use an octave mandolin in that familiar setting of jamming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Playing with your buddy, or playing inside of one of these circles like we saw, hundreds of at that festival there in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it's lighter weight, it's comfy. We put a strap on it. And
Travels easy.
Travels easy. You've got some demo on here as part of this video where you're standing and playing with it. It's just a really well-rounded, comfortable instrument, and it's a nice addition to our lineup of octave mandolins, and we think you'll think so too. So check them out. There's a lot of pictures and all the specifications on the materials that we use, as well as some demos and all of that. You can find all over our website on the Wavelength octave page. And we hope you'll check it out, and we hope that you'll check one of these out when they make their way out into the world. We're currently, as of the time of recording, we're making our first batch of these instruments, and we have another design on the way too, with an oval hole that we're still working on and making tweaks to, and we'll be back to talk about that in a little while.
Thanks much.
Keep picking.